a ceasefire was announced between Israel and Iran, intended to halt escalating conflict. Despite hopes for peace, the situation remained tense and confusing. Almost immediately, reports of continued missile fire emerged, casting doubt on the ceasefire's validity. Iran's conditional statement demanded Israel cease military operations, yet missile barrages continued. This violation added to the uncertainty gripping the region. Israel did not comment publicly, but reportedly continued strikes near Tehran. The disconnect between diplomatic words and battlefield reality was stark. Civilians remained on high alert, with emergency sirens active in Israeli cities. Mixed signals and ambiguous ceasefire terms left the future uncertain. Many feared the fighting could resume with greater intensity, undoing fragile progress. The path to peace was fraught with obstacles, underscoring deep-seated hostilities. The initial period was defined by this disconnect, with continued fire highlighting the hostility. The ceasefire announcement brought little tangible peace in its initial hours. The volatile environment persisted, with no clear resolution in sight. Post-ceasefire, Israel and Iran presented conflicting narratives, deepening confusion. The Israeli defense minister accused Iran of new missile attacks, promising a decisive response. Iranian officials denied launching missiles, creating a fundamental disagreement. Despite claims, violence continued with heavy Israeli airstrikes inside Iran. Notable attacks near Tehran's Evin prison caused significant damage. Retaliatory missile strikes on southern Israel resulted in deaths and injuries. The ceasefire appeared fragile, with both nations justifying military actions. Leaders projected strength, claiming the upper hand as fighting raged. The ceasefire seemed a brief pause in a longer rivalry. The region remained on edge, with no clear end to violence. A lack of trust fueled accusations, complicating verification efforts. The international community faced a frustrating task in mediation. Hostilities showed an announcement wasn't enough to overcome animosity. A robust mechanism was needed to enforce calm and build trust. The international community expressed deep concern over the escalating conflict. Qatar, a mediator, condemned an Iranian strike near a US airbase, calling it dangerous. The US warned of potential Iranian retaliation and cyber attacks, highlighting global risks. Diplomatic efforts intensified to de-escalate the crisis and address long-term issues. European powers urged Iran to negotiate on its nuclear program and missile development. The conflict partly retaliated for strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. The ceasefire was seen as a temporary measure, not a lasting peace. Mistrust between Israel and Iran made direct negotiations difficult. The threat of renewed violence loomed over the Middle East. The international community advocated for dialogue, but success depended on concessions. The stakes were high, with potential global economic and security impacts. The conflict inflicted a devastating toll on civilians caught in the crossfire. Israeli strikes in Iran killed hundreds, causing significant infrastructure damage. Iranian missile attacks on Israel led to deaths and injuries, forcing residents into shelters. The violence worsened the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, with dozens of Palestinians killed. The UN criticized the aid distribution system, warning against using starvation as a weapon. The direct confrontation heightened security concerns across the Middle East. Fears of a larger war drawing in global powers persisted. The fragile ceasefire left regional stability on a knife's edge. Renewed attacks were likely, keeping allies and adversaries on high alert. The conflict's long-term consequences were immense, with global concern over Iran's nuclear ambitions. Rebuilding trust and establishing peace required monumental diplomatic efforts.